Well, just to share to you a bit of my background. Um, I've been in sales, business development, and people development and marketing for more than 20 years. My experience goes around from working in a corporate setting and now also as a business owner at the same time. So I'm a digital agency co-owner where we are helping business people scale their business and move it to a greater uh, position. So, as what you have been sharing about being fearless, well, we do understand there that fear often are coming into three places, whether it's coming from the past, whether it's going to become the present, and coming in the future. Well, usually because of what's happening in the past, those bad experiences usually bring in fear because you haven't gotten over with those things, and often current situations that produces stress also are part of fear, and those anxious moments are also fear about the future. Well, normally people alone cannot really go ahead and face those fears. The most thing that we would should be having is to have somebody who would be supporting us at the same time having the right mindset to be fearless. So this is what I've been preaching, not just to the people that I work with, my coaches, and in fact, as well as my family. We need each other and have that great mindset how we would move forward and really not go around or go away with fear, but face it and start moving forward. You're on mute.
I muted myself because I had a little cough and I didn't want everyone to be part of that. Apologies. That was brilliant. Yes, absolutely. I think, yeah, exactly what you said, moving forward with the fear, a bit like feel the fear and do it anyway. That's great, Larry. Thank you. I've got a little quote here that my friend actually sent me this week, and I thought I'd share it with everyone. It says it's from an unknown anonymous person, but it says, being fearless doesn't mean living a life devoid of fear, but living a life in which our fears don't hold us back. And that's exactly what you've said. You know, we have to face that fear and move forward. So I wonder, Larry, if you could tell us about an experience in your life where you've experienced fear that possibly prevented you from doing something you wanted to do, or something you had to do, or maybe it didn't stop you. Could you tell us about that event?
Well, I just like to share a personal story of mine. Uh, I got married at a young age, and of course, trying to settle down early in my years, just right after graduation in college and first year in work. Then we've decided to get married with many uncertainties. But with the help of my family, my wife's family, and us alone, being that in that situation of having that strong conviction that you want to succeed in life. Of course, it's not going to be just a walk in the park. There are something of fear that if I did not decided on doing that thing, I won't be in the situation that I am right now. Who knows? Only something in the future would really decide if you were able to overcome those fears and really move forward. So if you try to hold back, there would be some situations or time that you will just be regretting. You don't want to be regretful of the things that might have not been, right? So failing is not really looking backward. It's really more of moving forward. I just like to share one of the stories as well in a group that I belong to. When you are when you are driving, usually the bigger view that you have is your windshield. And your rear view mirror just provides you a small window of looking back, right? So what direction would you do if you want to battle out those fear? It's the same situation that I have been into. I have a bigger view if I move forward and not really looking backwards, right? There would be some failures, but if you would be failing forward, that's the time that you would be able to grow and become more successful, because you won't know what would it be in the future. During the pandemic, um, many people have lost their jobs. I was in a corporate world, having my corporate job, and I have a business as well. Business went really down during the pandemic. If I did not this, if I just have that fear of what's happening globally, fear of dying, fear of moving forward, I won't be able to put up this digital agency. This new company that I have is on the early infancy stage. And we have lots of challenges. If I will be keeping my fear of, I have lots of business failures before. So what will I do? Be fearful about those experiences and not progress to another venture, or just be fearless and move forward and look for the people that will be supporting you. So,
Love that. Yeah,
yep.
thank you for sharing those stories. That's really good insight. I love the analogy with the car. That's a really cool thing to think about, about not looking back and in the mirror and everything, and also just failing forward. I love that thing that you said about failing forward, because failure, what is failure? Making mistakes can be such a good thing. As a teacher, this is what I teach all the time. Making mistakes. If you can't learn from a mistake, you haven't had that learning opportunity. So failing gives you that opportunity to learn, and you learn from those things and you push forward, don't you? Exactly like you said. Amazing. So did you take some actions particularly to overcome that fear? You said your business is in its infancy and you had to push forward and you weren't going to look back at what had happened in the past. What strategies did you use to get yourself in that place of being fearless?
Well, when I was transitioning my business, I was doing it more on alone, really having my own strategy, but there were much more failures, and I did invest in myself. That's one strategy that I did, to learn from others people's mistakes, so that you will be able to avoid that one. And really looking for the support group that would really help you. It's either to push you forward or pull you up. So that's why during those transitions is you really need to find the right people that you will be able to work with, because if you keep on doing this alone, there would be more fear that would be coming inside. If you have the right support, people that would be helping you overcome those fear. So that's why from a solopreneur, now we have a establish a corporation for our business, right? It's really looking for the right partners. And I I won't say we're already perfect or we're running smoothly, but it's we're learning moving forward, and I see that we're making progressions. We're really moving, failing forward. There are some challenges, but it's just something that we want to have, that being resilient in the things that we want to do. It's more of us focusing on our goal. Being cautious would work, but being resilient and having that grit would really overcome those fears.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's great. I think you've got the keys there. People around you is so important to help you build that resilience and to help you have that focus and the clear goals as well. So important. And those people can help you with that, definitely, because we're not always going to have every day is wonderful. Like you said, there's going to be moments when you're going to need that little pull up, to help you. So it's good to have those people around you. Amazing. So do you have any current fears now that you can talk about that where you're currently overcoming, or do you have something coming up that you is making you feel fear towards it, but you're going to do it
Well,
anyway?
fear won't just be going out just like in a snap. One fear that I have is, well, it's really having that fear of me leaving people behind, right? So what was the intention right now to overcome this is really to establish that everybody would be able to move forward. Another one is another business venture that we're starting. My wife has a great idea of a great business venture. And I know sometimes the thing is, if you don't take actions now, you might be able to regret that you did not took those action yesterday. Things might be moving fast, but if you have the right, again, it's the right people around you, that's something of taking action now. It's the taking action now is there are fears of making those mistakes, costly mistakes, but it's going to be better rather than not taking action at all, right?
I agree. Yeah, that's so true. And that's the thing. It's always going to be there. It's human nature to feel fear. Everybody has it, but it's how you work with it that matters, isn't it? Absolutely. So what is the transformation like, do you think, if you live more fearlessly in your life?
Well, I think there fear is something that would balance things out. But the transformation is the thing is you know how to overcome those fears, and you know how to and when to stop. Even if there is some fear, it always takes time for you to really overcome those. So what would be the great transformation is having that great mindset. You need to develop that within you. um well, me moving into a new house during the pandemic is really a bold step for me to do. The situation around the world was really have no direction, so we're being fearful, fear of going out that you might be able to catch COVID, in fear of you losing those opportunities or whatever that you have. But a strong will and a great mindset, something that you need to transform, it's not going to be overnight. You need to develop some habit that would prep you to progress in a day. You don't need to do it one big step, but you could just make it on little steps, celebrating wins day by day, prepping that you have to have those goals. At the end of the day, is you celebrate even small wins. Because as that carries over time, as you compound it. So for example, if you would become 1% better than who you are yesterday, and you compound it over the next 365 days, in just 1 year, you would be 365% better than who you are 365 days before, right?
Yeah, I love that. And do you write it down every day, or do you save it in a voice recorder, or just in your head? Is there anything you do to?
Well, what I did was I started writing. So it's like just really doing that neuropsychomotor, right? We're in the technology um, world right now. Well, it's something that you could just type, put it in your phone. whatever works for you. You find out what is the best fit that would make you build that better habit moving forward. So I collected all the notebooks that I have in my place, just keeping dust. I think I just have to make them useful. Just doing at least daily affirmations and what you are being thankful of. Building that habit that you have to wake up every day on a positive note. Before, when I wake up, the first thing that I hold is my phone. Then I browse social media, read some things. Of course, what's out there is something that you can control and might influence you, right? And give you fear on how you would be doing or taking your actions in the day. So it's just a clear choice what you need to do. Something has to change. So I have made a change. Instead of getting fear inside me, is I overcome those fear by creating those affirmation that I know the day would be better for me. Make your start your day really strong with great mindset and full of positivism, and that would help you overcome your fear on the day. And as you
Wow.
develop that one, you will become fearless.
That's such great advice. I love that. You're talking about building a habits, good habits that set you up for the day, and positive affirmations. I mean, they're so powerful, aren't they? And as well as writing down, how you feel about each day has gone and all the positivity in it. That's really good advice for everyone listening. I just want to touch on the fact that this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and also yesterday was Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. And in fact, the entire month is awareness of chronic illnesses. Now, these are both things that I feel very passionate about because they've both touched my life and my family's life. And I think a lot of people have fear around admitting that they may have a chronic illness or admitting that they're suffering from mental health issues because there's still stigma around some of these illnesses, and particularly with disabilities that aren't visible. Sometimes people have these disabilities which really impact their life and people don't see them. So people can be very unkind and say, oh, well, you're not disabled. What's all that about? And what would you say to people who are feeling that fear of being able to stand up and say, well, this is me, and this is what I am, and I'm not ashamed? What would you have any advice for them?
Well, it really starts within yourself. It's really having that right mindset and getting out of toxic people that surround you. Don't be afraid to ask help. That's the number one thing that you would be able to do to really overcome whatever illness or down trend or down feeling that you are experiencing. Be fearless to ask for help, because asking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength that you really want to help yourself and be able to become better and move forward. Right?
That's amazing. Yeah. That's it. It's all about, again, you've come back to people, haven't you? You've come back to reaching out to people, having the right kind of people around you. It's so important that we have that in our lives. And then if there are the wrong people, we can handle that because we have so much positivity and so much support around us from the right people. And it's about educating as well. If people are not the right people, then we can take it upon ourselves to try and change that through education, however we can get that message out. Just as we are about talking about fearless and how you can live fearlessly and you can make that transformation in your life. So Larry, it's been amazing to hear from you this morning. And I also want to ask you my final question, which is, you shared with us so many great ideas, so many strategies, things from your own experience. Is there something that you would like to really share with our audience before we leave them today that could inspire them to move forward with something that's holding them back, no matter
Well,
what it is?
everything starts within you. So it's having that right mindset and attitude in life that would really make you fearless. As I mentioned, asking help is not a sign of weakness, but it's something that you alone would be able to achieve. It's something of doing that self-regulation, knowing yourself deep inside you, and really being out in the open, looking for that right direction, and going away of those negative vibes that would really, because it's your choice. Everything is something that's within you. So the choice is yours to make and for you to take action. Then as you attract other people, it's something that would benefit the entire surroundings where you are. It's building your community that you would become better. So everything starts within ourselves. Believe in what you can do and move forward.
What a great message. So you've left us today with this knowledge that it all starts with us. It's a decision that we make, and we can make it because we need to believe in ourselves and to get people around us that love and support us. Thank you so much for that amazing message today. All the other strategies you've shared with us. It's been, excuse me, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you today. And I think we're very lucky to have had you in here for this extra episode, extra bonus class today for everyone to listen to your wisdom. And I wish you every success in your fledgling business, I suppose you'd call it, because you say it's quite new, and
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be helping many people, as you already have done, in many different ways. So thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we say
Well,
goodbye?
it's really an honor, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity given. So, well, just to extend help, if they would be seeing the link, I could extend extra hours or extra time for people who would like to help. They could just book in my calendar, and that's something that I could share. I'd love to help people at least make some progression, and
Fantastic.
and your platform is going to be a great opportunity to promote being fearless to your audience. And thank you for inviting me.
Amazing. And thank you again, Larry. And yes, I see that, you offer a free consultation to help people, and that's wonderful. And I'm sure people in our community will be grateful to be able to get in touch with you for that. So thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's here joining us today for this episode. We hope that you've enjoyed it. We hope that you can take something away. And we also hope that you'll be able to join us again next week on Tuesday, when we talk with another amazing guest speaker about being more fearless. And thank you, Larry. And I'd like to say goodbye to everybody. Have a wonderful day.